Welcome everyone back to another trade video on the channel. It's Monday, so trade period is officially opened, and on Sunday night last night we had some pretty big St Kilda news with Paddy Dow from the Blues requesting a trade to the club. Former pick 3 midfielder suits a need at the club, so I think it would be a really good deal for us. I'll get into a bit more detail on him a bit later, but just a couple of other updates from Tom Morris on SEN. He reported that we had some interest in Caleb Marchbank, the Blues key defender. He recently re-signed on a 1-year deal at the Blues, but apparently we had interest in him. We've looking for a bit of depth in that key defence, so understandable, but yeah, he's signed on, so we won't be getting him after some preliminary interest. And another one is that Tom Campbell looks set to sign a 1-year deal with the Saints if we fail to sign another backup ruckman. We've been looking around, had some interest in Todd Goldstein, who eventually nominated Essendon. So if we can't sign a proper backup ruckman for Rowan Marshall, then I think Tom Campbell is set to sign another 1-year deal at the club. And I think that's about it for updates. Liam Henry, the negotiations have started. I think the Freo list manager or someone said that there was still a bit of a discrepancy in valuations, but he said he expects the deal to get done. So that's that. But yeah, go back to Paddy Dow. So former pick 3, 22 years old, midfielder with burst. I think it's a really good deal for us, especially for how cheap he'll come for a future 4th round pick, future 3rd round pick. Tom Morris saying it could be a future 4th, so that would be an absolute bargain if that's true. So essentially, it's basically, if it's a future 4th, it'd be trading like a pick 70 for Paddy Dow. So we're basically trading a pick that we won't even be using at the draft for Paddy Dow. It's probably as good as getting him as a listed free agent, so really good deal if it's future 4th. Even if it's future 3rd, it would be like a pick 45 to 50 we probably wouldn't be using in the national draft next year. Yeah, just losing it's not a really big deal. Like, there haven't been many pick 45s to become superstars in the AFL, so I think it's a risk worth taking, especially since he suits one of our needs, which is a midfielder with a bit of leg speed, with a bit of burst from stoppage. Yeah, and he definitely has those attributes. The main concern amongst Saints fans, I think, from what I've read, is that his kicking isn't as good as what it should be, as what it should be for a target, for a midfield target coming to the Saints, considering our midfield doesn't really have the best foot skills. But my first point is that Paddy Dow is being recruited for the next decade, so he might not fit perfectly into our current midfield crop, but if you imagine him next to Mitch Owens and Mateus Filippo, I think it looks a bit better. Owens is that Paddy Cripps type of big body, attacks the ball really hard, wins those contests, and then Filippo is that more classy, still tall and big, like Bontempelli, good overhead, good finisher, and yeah, classy kick of the ball as well. Windy as well. Windy probably his ball use is alright, but not the best. But Windy and Dow being those outside kind of handball receive types from Owens and Filippo at times. I think over the next decade that could look really good, and it could be a potent midfield line. So I think, yeah, considering he's only 22, we have to look into the future. And yeah, if we have Filippo in there and then Windy as well, who's an okay user, I think Paddy Dow's lack of foot skills should be okay. I think we should be able to deal with that. But for the moment, even then, like, his kicking isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. I don't know, like, people say that his kicking is bad, but they don't really highlight how bad, like, in what way it's bad. I think most people just see, like, Carlton fans saying, oh, Paddy Dow's bad at kicking, and then they just automatically assume that he's bad at kicking without, like, watching any footage of him. Maybe sometimes like he might crumble under pressure, which would result in under pressure kicks and then not executing them properly. But when he's got space, like he's pretty good at delivering the ball, and considering that he's got burst out of the stoppage, he'll get into space quite a few times, and you'll see him deliver the ball pretty well. I think I can put some highlights on the screen right now of him delivering the ball to Carlton forwards. He knows how to put it into space, like he knows where to place the ball. Maybe sometimes his execution can be a bit inconsistent. These skills are something that can be worked on. And then the fact, like in his draft year, his one deficiency in his draft profile was that his kicking under pressure wasn't as good. So essentially he was drafted at pick 3 for all of his strengths that weren't kicking. So he still got all of those talents that he was drafted for at pick 3. So it's not like his kicking was a major positive in his draft year and that he's regressed over time. It's just always been a weakness of his. So I think this is more of something that we need to focus on the strengths. That's his burst from stoppage, his quick hands, his sidestep. He's got pretty decent, classy hands as well. So got to focus more on the positives, and his kicking, I think, under pressure with more experience at AFL level, it's something that can really be worked on. I think his kicking is definitely better than the likes of Crouch and Seb Ross. I think, yeah, he's got a pretty penetrating kick. He kicks it flat, which is important, and he gets boot to ball pretty quickly as well. So like Crouch and Ross sometimes, well, Crouch especially, like he kind of takes a bit of time to kick the ball, which can often lead to bad execution if he's under extreme pressure. Dow gets boot to ball really quickly. He's got good technique, so when he's under extreme pressure, he might not hit the targets, but his execution will be a bit better than Crouch, I think. And then yeah, he's got that speed, so yeah, better than Ross, I think. Ross a bit slower, so when he gets out of the stoppage, he's a bit more under pressure, so can't really take his time to kick the ball. But if Dow can burst from stoppage, get himself into space, he can deliver the ball really well into the 50. And he's also got that ability to change his mind in the kicking action. So I don't know if there are any clips out there, but I've seen him like go to kick the ball, last second he changes his mind, and then he like adjusts the ball so that he can change his target. That's a pretty impressive trait to have, to be able to change your mind and execute properly in the moment. So I think that's something that doesn't get mentioned enough with Paddy Dow. But yeah, in the end, like once we see him at AFL level, I think we'll see all of his good attributes. We'll definitely see some deficiencies with his kicking, don't get me wrong, like he's not the best kicker in the league. His kicking is being heavily criticised, and I don't think it's justified. It's just like people jumping on that bandwagon of him being a bad kick. So yeah, he's also got that sidestep. We love seeing that. Hunter Clark is that type of classy mid who has the sidestep in the midfield, but if we add Paddy Dow into there, I think he's got that inside distribution with his hands as well. So yeah, in summary, I think this Paddy Dow deal, we'll do it for really cheap, so we're not losing much for getting him. Therefore, if he doesn't succeed at the Saints, like we're really not losing much. We're just losing a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick. So a pick that we probably wouldn't even use at the draft, so we're getting him for free. And yeah, like he's got a lot of strengths, his handballing, quick hands, winning the contest, spinning, sidestepping. He's got a lot of class in there, knows how to deal with those types of contests. And yeah, more often than not, he hits his handballs, so there's none of that like missing targets and then wasting time, ruining our counter attacks. He hits his handball targets pretty often, so yeah, it keeps our chains going, flow really well. So I think having him in there is going to be more beneficial than detrimental. His kicking, well, yeah, question marks, but I think it's being unfairly criticised. Like it's something we can work on with more AFL experience, and helping him lower his eyes. Yeah, he definitely knows how to place it into the right places. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see see if that comes to fruition at AFL level. So I'll leave the video there. Make sure to leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts on Paddy Dow and the other trade deals that are to come. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.